Hey, what's happening, Discoveryers? Me, the Guy01, and welcome to this week's first episode on the Walkthrough channel. This week, it's a family feud. Rey Mysterio against Dominik Mysterio in our weekly birthday versus. We only had two birthdays this week. We had Rey Mysterio's birthday on December 11th. He turned 48. And we had Luke Harper, aka Brody Lee's birthday yesterday, December 16th. He would have turned 43. Now, before we get into Raw and SmackDown, the first thing I felt we should cover was the news surrounding Mandy Rose that came out this past week. So, let's start from the beginning. So, on this week's episode of NXT, Mandy Rose defended her NXT Women's Championship and lost. She dropped the title on NXT TV, and a lot of people were confused. They were like, where did that come from? Really? Like, she lost on free TV? I mean, so people just found it weird that she dropped the title on free TV, ending, her historic title reign that's been going on for over a year. It was like, wow, that kind of came out of nowhere. And then, literally hours later, it was announced that Mandy Rose had been released by WWE. And now people are like, well, at least the title loss makes sense, but what's going on? So, yeah. So now people are like, okay, so I guess they were going to fire her, so they needed her to drop the title, so at least now it makes sense why they had her drop it on, free TV with, like, little build-up. But now the question is, why was she fired? Well, it came out that WWE fired Mandy Rose over content that she was posting on a subscription-based social media. It wasn't OnlyFans, but it was basically a similar type of service where she was posting very risque pictures to paid subscribers, and recently, past few weeks, some of that content has begun to become leaked by the people, who were paying to view it, and it was the first time WWE had actually been aware of the content, or been made aware of the content Mandy Rose had been posting on this site, and the content that she had been posting has gone, basically, according to WWE, went against her contract agreements, and they basically fired her over the content she was releasing. Now, something like this happened with Paige and Zelina Vega a couple years ago with their like Twitch stuff. Basically saying that they weren't allowed to earn an income from anywhere else, and Zelina Vega was fired over it. Now this is a little different. It's not because, she was earning an income from another source, but it was because of the content that she was, making that earning from. It was definitely the content itself, and not, the fact that she was earning revenue from it. Now, this has upset a lot of people. It's kind of like, really? You're going to fire her over this? She's still, like, one of the most popular, like, female wrestlers in WWE right now. I mean, she's the face of NXT's women's division. And now they kind of just... they got rid of all that in, like, literally the span of a week. They had her drop the title and then fired her. So we'll see what comes from this. We'll see if, she comes back. Mandy Rose has released a statement that she will continue posting that kind of content onto that site. So I don't know if it's a thing where WWE said basically, we'll rehire you if you stop doing it, but as long as you're doing it, we can't let you work for us, unless they get like a different contract agreement, but I doubt they'll do that. So does that mean though she'll go to AEW, New Japan, or what? It'll be interesting to see what comes from this. If the legal battle comes from it, or I don't know. Aha, missed. Alright, but let's get into Raw and SmackDown. So, first match of Raw, Alexa Bliss, beat Bayley. Afterwards, Alexa Bliss celebrated with Bianca Belair. It looked like she was going for a hug, but as she went for the hug, the Bray Wyatt logo flashed on the Titantron, and all of a sudden, Bliss's demeanor changed, and she put Bianca in the position to go for Sister Abigail, but seemingly came to her senses or broke out of whatever trance she was in at the last second and stopped herself from hitting her with it before walking off. AJ Styles beat Chad Gable. Dominik, Mysterio, AJ Styles, and Damian Priest beat Akira Tozawa and the Street Profits. Oh no, you don't. Get back. So got a lot to learn, kid. Dakota Kai beat Candice LeRae. Solo Sikoa beat Elias. Kevin Owens then came out to save Elias from a further beatdown before hitting Elias with the stunner for all the months of torture Elias put him through with the whole Ezekiel thing. Uh-oh. No. Nope, get off me. Let me do my springboard move. Nope, get off me. Boom. Hey, excuse me, coming through. Out of the way. Uh-oh. Ray, don't get glitched. Okay. Everybody. Oh, foot stomp. Speaking of Balor. Rhea Ripley beat Asuka after Asuka sprayed her green mist in Dominik's face, which led to a very funny backstage segment with Judgment Day. It looked like more of a sitcom kind of situation, which I'm glad that they're dropping the whole supernatural thing with Judgment Day, because there's very few performers in WWE that can pull it off. Bray Wyatt is one of the few. Edge could have pulled it off, but, you know, since he's not really part of it anymore, yeah, it doesn't really work. Balor could make it work. He's someone who's made it work, you know, with the whole demon persona, which we haven't seen in, what, 3 years? How long has it been since Finn Balor's been the demon? But, you know, people like Priest, Ripley, Dominik, Mysterio, if it's done in, like, a group, it's hard to make it work. There's very few groups in wrestling where, you know, the whole supernatural thing can work. So I like that they've dropped that and are going more of like the dysfunctional family kind of thing. Because that's makes for much better content, at least in my opinion. And the final match of the night, Seth Rollins beat Bobby Lashley, getting him a title shot against Austin Theory for the US Championship. After the match, Bobby Lashley went nuts, taking out a referee. Adam Pearce then came out trying to calm Lashley down. Lashley attacked Pearce, which then led to Pearce telling Lashley that he is fired. Which is very big news. We'll see how long that goes. We'll see if this becomes a thing where Lashley then begins invading Raw, like maybe costs Seth in his title shot against Theory. And then moving on to SmackDown. Um, in a title match for the women's tag team titles, Dakota Kai and Io Sky faced Liv Morgan and Tegan Nox. Near the end of the match, a hooded figure came out and attacked Nox, which allowed Kai and Sky to get the win and retain the titles. Now the question is who that hooded figure was, because it wasn't Bayley. Bayley was at ringside fighting, so that means it was someone else. So it'll be interesting to see who and why they would align with Damage Control. Gunther beat Ricochet to retain. Ah, dang it! To retain the Intercontinental Championship. Hit Row beat the Viking Raiders and Legado del Fantasma to earn a title shot against the Usos. And in the final segment of the night, the Bloodline came out. Roman Reigns was out there for the first time in a couple weeks, basically talking about a predetermined tag match against Kevin Owens, who was yet to announce his partner. And then John Cena appeared on the Titantron, and he read out a text message from Kevin Owens, basically of Owens asking him to be his tag partner for the December 30th episode of SmackDown, which Cena agreed to. Now this is huge for multiple reasons. One, it's Cena, so anything involving Cena is going to be huge. But also, the fact that Cena is going to be wrestling on the December 30th means that, because if Cena didn't, wow, we mirrored each other. That was cool. If Cena hadn't wrestled on, this last episode of SmackDown of the year, 2022 would have been the first year since John Cena's WWE debut where John Cena hasn't wrestled a match. He's wrestled at least one match every year for the last 20 years. And a lot of people were thinking, it's like, hey, this is going to be the first year Cena, doesn't wrestle a match. But nope. He pulled it out the very last second. He's like, nah, I'm keeping that streak going. Saved it to the very last minute to do it, but hey, he's wrestling a match. So yep, we'll get Cena and Reigns in the ring at the one more time. Uh-oh. So yeah, that was it for Raw and SmackDown. Ow. Ow. Uh-oh. Haha. Just a one count. Gonna take a lot more than that to take me out, son. Calm down, Junior. Here we go. 619 time, baby. Here we go. Boom. Booyaka, booyaka. Really? That was my first time hitting a 619 as Rey Mysterio? After the whole showcase? Well, I guess to be fair, whenever you go for a 619 in the showcase, it cuts to a cutscene, so you never actually hit it. Boom. So yeah, and in case I didn't say it before, the reason I decided to do Rey versus Dominik is because Luke Harper isn't in this game, and Dominik has been like the main rival of Rey for this past few months, so that was the match that made sense. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I make videos all the time. Stay tuned for next week's Versus, and next week where we continue our LEGO Batman 2 DC Superheroes walkthrough. Let me know what you guys thought of Raw and SmackDown. Let me know what you guys think of this whole Mandy Rose situation. Do you think WWE were right to fire her? Do you think that they should bring her back? Do you think if they don't bring her back, where do you think Mandy should go? Let me know. Alright, this Guy01 and the Master of the 619, Rey Mysterio, signing out. Bye, guys.